Welcome to the Second Life tutorial by Aram Katita and Gudied on using and creating guided tours as a way for students to explore within Second Life and to learn from them. Our purpose here is to understand the various components of a guided tour and how they might be used educationally for different educators in their environments. During this lesson, you're going to be learning what a guided tour is. Then we'll look at how to make a note card in Second Life. We'll learn how to conduct a guided tour. And then lastly, we're going to visit a couple places on our guided tour and learn more how they might be using these places while they're exploring. Here we are in Second Life following our avatar Dobie around, and we've created this object that when we approach it and then click on it, it's actually going to give us a note card, and this note card is where our tour is contained. So we go ahead and we keep that, which puts it in our inventory there. And we're able to see some of the places that we'd be able to explore in Second Life. The giant computer on Dell Island, we'll see the International Space Flight Museum, lots of different options that we have. So once we have our card here, we might need to come back and find it again on another visit. So if we go to our inventory, we see that note cards exist right inside our inventory, right there at the top. Pretty simple to find it. We can see again the name of the card. We click on that and we're able to actually see the card again, just like we had found it before. We also might want to take notes as we're going on our tour, so we can create our own note card as well. So if we go right to the top in our inventory and go to create and then new note, it comes up with our own card here that we can then start to edit. We can put down whatever information we think we might want on that card there. We can type onto it. We can record information about places we visited. We can record our comments about those places. Anything that we want to type there is going to be real simple for us to do. Because it's important to keep our folder and inventory always organized, right now it's just called New Note, which could be confusing as we add on. So we're going to go ahead and right click on that and go down to rename, and we're actually going to title this something that we can then remember. Otherwise, later on as we move through and we collect note cards, we're not going to be able to remember what everything is that we actually have in our inventory. So now that we have our note card and we're ready to take notes, we're going to go ahead and pick a place that we might actually want to tour. So many options here, and we don't have to go through all of them, but we can pick the one that might be the most interesting to us. So we're going to go ahead and go to the Space Flight Museum. So we click on it, pulls up a little picture here, and then we can choose to teleport. So we've arrived here in our Space Flight Museum, and we're going to take a little bit of time just to look around. People have already created all these great areas for us to explore. Luckily for us, right away, one of the first things here is a map. This map is going to show us all the different options we have here in the Space Flight Museum. See what we might want to explore. We can see the rockets of different types. We can see a planetarium. We can go to a shuttle robot arm. We can even explore the gift shop along the way. We think the rockets are going to be one of the most interesting things to go see, so we can go ahead and use our fly command there, and we can head out towards the rockets. And these rockets are really interesting because they've been built to replicate actual rockets, so we can look around the bases, we can explore the engines on them. Along the way, we even find notes that tell us what kind of rocket this is. This is where people can put whatever information so that students can learn more about what the site that they're visiting at that point. Second Life allows us to give our students a whole new perspective on the world that they're exploring. Now they can explore an object all the way around it. They can look under it. They can look above it. As we're exploring around here, oops, falling off the ledge. Luckily in Second Life we can't actually get hurt here. Makes a great safe way for students to explore. We can look all around this object. We can learn more about what this specific object is. And then we can even choose to fly up to the top of this rocket here and explore what it looks like from a whole new perspective. So flying up to the top of our rocket here, this is definitely a place that NASA or any other space agencies wouldn't want you to be this close when the rocket was actually on the launch pad. They always have their 40-mile or so clear zone, but here we are sitting right on top of the rocket. All these rockets here ready to be launched into space to do whatever missions, and we can see the different eras of rockets. We can explore them in whatever way that we think is best for our students to learn more about them. Eventually, no matter how exciting the tour, our students going to want to move on. So again, they can pull up their note card and see what other options they have here to explore. What we find here is visit virtual Morocco. So not only looking at science-based stuff, but we could explore new cultures, new parts of the world through Second Life. So here we are walking into the sands of Morocco. Interesting thing here, the designers have taken a little different twist, and rather than using note cards, they've actually given you info fezzes that you can use. You can discover monkeys along the way, we might run into other people, and eventually we find these places where we can get lots of information telling us what we can explore on this island. Here we can see the different things we can do. We're going to choose to look at the outdoor adventures, and this is another note card that we'll go ahead and keep. And looking through this, now this doesn't have the swirls where we can actually go to new places, but it tells us information about Morocco. What are the things that students might be able to do if they were to actually visit Morocco in real life? Some people might not realize that there's actually skiing in Morocco, not the thing that you would necessarily always think of. So we continue on our tour of Morocco, looking around this island here. We can choose to fly to explore better, get that aerial view of the shops and villages, whatever it is that our students want to see or wherever we've directed them. And again, eventually we're going to end our tour and maybe our student wants to return back to our home site again. So there we are going back to MSIT Island to rejoin maybe the rest of the group. Maybe we have a prearranged time where we're going to all meet back together again. So we're back here on MSIT Island. We've had a chance to get a note card, follow a guided tour. We've even created a note card, and on this note card is where we could actually put sites for students to visit. They could record their observations along the way, and we could turn this into a real exciting educational opportunity for students to explore something that they wouldn't normally be able to explore without the use of these virtual worlds. Thank you for joining us as we explore our guided tours in Second Life. So as Aram Katita and Dobie Aquacade, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.